Hello, everyone. We are. I guess I'm not appearing on the screen, but it is I, Wookie Monster, and my good friend Primus here. Sorry about that. I don't know why it did not show up there. There it is. Okay, we got an exciting best of three today. It's going to be Silver Checkmate Gray versus Silver Delaware Derby Brown. And how you doing today, Primus?
Good. Work's been slowing down, so I have more time to play League and fast games, so I really can't complain. It's, great day here over in the Primus's house. But no, I mean, always exciting. I haven't casted and cast last week, so, I was excited to cast today. I was kind of bummed because tomorrow all the games are scheduled, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be able to cast anyways.
At least we have a game today, though, and I know it was last minute for all you folks out there, but it is a game. So I mean, and both of us were able to be here for the day. They have already started draft, so we're just gonna get right into it. Yeah, looking at this draft so far, let me switch over. It's pretty fast. So we got a couple bands going out. We got Yorick, Kennen, Urgot, Silas, Samira, and Ilawi. Then we have Swain first picked by the side of Gray, and Brown is currently on their two picks. What do you think so far of this?
I mean, that's a hard counter on top lane. They do not want Noble to be on anything he's comfortable with, I guess, because that's three straight top bans.
Yeah,
Whereas a little bit more diversified bans coming from Team Brown. I mean, maybe going for a Malphite pick with the Silas ban. That's typically um, a pretty hard counter to Malphite just overall. So they could be going for that later in the draft, but they're instead just going to go ahead and pick their ADC in jungle, Jhin pick. Not very mobile, so they might be able to pick maybe a Hecarim or a Nocturne from Gray to be able to lock down this Jhin. But looks like they're having the Lee Sin instead. But I mean, mobile junglers are going to be really good, just in general to
yeah.
get this Jhin.
Especially like Kane, like just goes through everything. He's got a pretty intense build path with his like Gore Drinker, but blue Kane. Like you could go either one, just build Gore
Um,
Drinker, and you kind of just win. I don't know if that's still a thing in the current meta, but I've seen it around. It
I'd say I'd
dominated.
say it is. I mean, obviously it
Okay.
depends if you do red and blue cane, which I'm not as familiar with, like the forms of cane and how they function. But uh, looks like I'm assuming this is gonna be a Swain support
Support. Yeah.
for Gray. I mean, it is a flex pick. They can put it wherever they want, but I'm assuming they'll just go ahead and pick Malphite. Excuse me, Maokai.
Okay.
Uh, in I'm assuming the bot lane. I think this is just jungle and bot lane picks for both sides, which is usually pretty safe, pretty standard. Nothing crazy really right now. I mean,
Yeah. One thing to
pretty standard
note.
draft.
Yeah, pretty standard. I think one thing to note is that we did see Yoltz kind of dominate the ADC role the last time we
Mhm.
saw him. I believe he was the one that got the most kills and kind of the most aggression out. And he is on Kaisa, which is I think one of his comfort picks. So
Yeah.
excited to see that happen for him. As the draft continues, they are banning Graves and Darius, getting rid of, I guess, some more pick comfort picks. I think is kind of the thing here because both of these teams they do have quite a couple of players who are playing like the same three champions, and it's
Right.
it's a very good strategy to ban out those three champions where you
Yeah.
can.
Champion puddle rather than a champion pool. But
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, do you think they're gonna? I mean, they could put all five bans on top lane. I mean, they still haven't picked the mid. And I don't. I'm actually kind of confused by the Graves ban because I mean, unless they put Lisa in mid, they'd have already picked their jungler. And
Well, Graves
I mean,
has
we've
been
seen
a
occasionally. Yeah, we've seen
top.
him in the lane occasionally. I just don't know
Yeah.
if Gray picked that. Which if they do, then I could be wrong. Have you seen them play Graves in the
Um,
lane?
I have not. But you know, it could go top, it could go mid. I don't know if
Hmm.
maybe one of the teams has been practicing it on the side, or maybe it's just a strategy that they don't want their mid laner to be counterpicked by the mid that they are going to pick, and it looks like that's going to be Echo. So I mean, your Graves could do a lot of damage. I mean, it's probably one of safe bets. I mean, maybe he just didn't know what else to ban really, but will be
Yeah.
Vladimir probably responded to with that.
Hmm. I mean, Brown. I mean, I think it was kind of smart for them to leave the counter pick for the top lane just because they took away. I'm assuming 5 of his champions. So he's probably losing some comfort here. So at least give him the opportunity to counter pick. It looks like it's going to be set. Yeah, it's going to be set there in
Yep.
the top lane. So final composition for Gray is going to be, we're assuming, set in the top lane, Lee Sin in the jungle, Vladimir in mid lane, Kaisa and Swain in the bottom lane. So we'll see what Brown ends up last picking here. Taking some
Yeah.
time to think. What they want to pick into the set. With his probably sixth, and seventh comfort picks.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. I mean, he was banned out a lot, so
and they'll put
it
him on the
doesn't surprise
Trundle.
me. Trundle. That's actually a good pick into it. So I'm gonna throw up the predictions. So go ahead and put in your predictions for this first round. Uh, yeah, I think both of these comps are pretty interesting. Because on one side, on Gray's side, you have a lot of team fight and you know a little bit of early game and late game with the Vladimir and the Kaisa, and then you know you have the team fight with the Set and the Swain. And on the other side, you kind of have the same thing. It's you know late game scaling with Kane and Jin, and then you have early aggression with Trundle and Echo. Um, so I'm looking forward to see what this pulls off. It's kind of more like who can set up first. I think on
You
both
can set
teams.
up. I had to do it. I had to do
It
it. If you,
is too good.
using my inner freak for the dad jokes, but
Yeah,
I will
for
say,
sure.
speaking of set, with the Trundle pick, and him being able to steal resistances, we're most likely going to see some form of mathematically correct set. Where he's just going to build health. Probably gonna have some big W's. If he gets some more CDR and that kind of. I forget what runes he takes, but I don't think it's Conqueror. So I'm excited to see if that ends up happening.
On the
But
Trundle,
or on the set.
on the set, I mean Conquer is the staple rune.
Yeah, I'm
On
just
the
trying
other
to think of
hand,
the Ross Boomsock's mathematically correct set.
oh, the
Uh,
mathematically correct. I wouldn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. Yeah, he takes grasp instead of
Oh,
conquer.
okay, interesting.
And then he goes Hex Drinker and Hysterics, and zero armor whatsoever. It's just pure health, big W's. He wants to take damage.
Yeah,
So I mean, it's possible he could do that. I mean, um, looks like we had a mess up in the draft, so we'll be
yeah,
a
that's
few
okay.
minutes late going in. But uh, stuff happens, in champion select.
For sure.
Sometimes you
And
misclick. What happened to us?
sometimes you misclick. Yep. But yeah, I mean, I don't even feel like mathematically correct set would be something these players might not know about. I don't know. But we'll have to see. I mean, we'll get into the actual champion loading screen and see if he did
Yeah,
take grass. That would be interesting, though.
I just like the meme. I just like the
Yeah, I
meme,
would like
Wookie.
to see it. It would be amazing if I could see it in one of these games, but I just haven't. I don't know a lot about it, so.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this is going to be a tough bot lane for Brown. This is a very aggressive lane with Kaisa Swain
Yeah.
into what I'm assuming is a more passive Jin and Maokai. So they'll probably get pushed in a lot. So we'll see. I will say when you're have an aggressive bot lane and you're shoving into tower, Kane's probably one of the worst junglers to have to go against when you're pushed in, because Kane can gank very easily when a lane is shoved up. But
Yeah.
I still think that Brown has this. I really like their comp. It's a lot better scaling comp than I think on the side of Gray. Lee Sin and Set, not the best late game. I mean, Swain a little bit as well. I think Kaisa's and Vladimir are probably the only ones that actually like hard scale late game.
Yeah.
Where I think that Brown has a little bit of an edge. It's not a lot, but I think it's a little bit of an edge.
Okay.
So if they're able to just play passive this early game and maybe have some more action in the top lane, they'll probably come out with the win. But I think it's honestly up in the air.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I think CM Dean, if I remember correctly, like I don't know how good CM Dean's Lee Sin is. I don't think we've seen it in the past games, but he does have quite a little bit of games played on Lee Sin with a pretty solid win rate. So I'm excited to see. I mean, according to his matches, he's been playing a lot of Vayne jungle, which surprises me. Yeah, it's interesting, right? Like, it has gotten kind of a few wins here and there. So,
I whip that out later in the season. Which Team Green does play Gray second to last week, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
So, if
yeah,
he pulls out later in the season, I might see it firsthand.
I mean, yeah, and we might have to see it. Rich and Smart. I don't know if they're in order on the actual draft thing, but
on draft or on op.gg,
the
I don't
client
think so.
draft.
Oh, client draft.
Unless it is, Daddy. Wait, hold on. I need to look at their lineup again. Because they did have some trouble getting into the lobby.
I do know Hammered is supposed to be ADC. That is correct.
Okay. So then, yeah.
Yeah, they're right.
This is an interesting lineup then. Daddy Pacific is mid, so that is a mid Kayn.
Yeah, they've switched it around.
They definitely
I
did.
believe Daddy was AD carry and Hammered was mid. Last week before last. I think they're just trying to find their comfortability. But yeah, you're right. That is like a Kayn mid, which is very interesting. I mean, they do have time to flip it if they want, but I doubt they will.
That's true.
They have what, like 20 seconds to flip it?
Yeah, something like it's like 20 seconds, I believe.
Yeah, I don't think it's that common to see a Kayn mid. I mean, I haven't seen it before.
I haven't seen it.
I'm sure it's a thing.
I don't think it's a thing. I mean, Kayn mid is like, you're the only thing you have going for you against the ranged matchup at least is trying to hit the W, and I mean. Yeah, hitting that W into
Vladimir's just gonna keep pressing Q. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
What poke do you have against a Vladimir?
You really don't. So I'm definitely, if they do keep that Kayn mid, I definitely think Kanye should try to abuse the range advantage, make sure Kayn does not get to form, because
I think this might be a move for them to get Noble fed. I think it's just gonna be a roaming Kayn the whole game. I mean, because Vladimir does not have a lot of like wave clear early. It's a lot slower. His Q's on like a 15-second cooldown. His E doesn't do a lot of damage early, and it's like kind of like position base. So you're only gonna hit stuff that's right in front of you. So if Kayn shoves in, with that, goes Doran's, pushes the wave in, and then just roams, I think they can definitely utilize that Kayn a lot better than if he stays in lane. So I'm assuming, with a mobile jungler like Echo, super mobile mid laner like Kayn, will probably go top or bot a lot, especially since, like I said earlier, this Jhin and Maokai are probably going to get shoved in, I think.
That's
just my prediction.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. I mean, yeah, I'm excited to see how it works if he's been practicing it a lot. I mean, hey, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, and looking forward to see how that goes. But yeah, there's a few minutes more on the predictions. But yeah, I think with that, we're going to go into a short intermission. When we're back, we're going to be into game 1 of this exciting game of Checkmate Gray versus Delaware Derby Brown. Don't go anywhere. Hello,
Alrighty.
everybody. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I'm so excited because there's already pings coming out for an invade. But I get, you know how me and Ryan get when there's an invade. we get
True.
real excited.
Yeah. And I think my game is bugged. Oh boy.
No.
I'm gonna have to restart real quick because there's no way to fix that bug yet. Just gonna
Lovely.
reconnect real quick. Oh man, I thought it was fixed because it showed the champions there, but unfortunately it did not. But I guess
no.
while we're looking at the, I guess we could look at the summoner spells in the meantime.
Yeah, I paused
yeah.
right at 1 minute. Yeah.
Okay.
Wookie broke the game evidently.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Now we're back. We're live. We're at 1 minute, so you can go ahead and unpause that as.
That was perfect.
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
There's the invade.
There's the invade. But yeah, they didn't get anything out of it.
I mean, they did get the flash from Jin, which was pretty good. You know, typically, like I said, the super mobile AD carry already doesn't have a flash, and I'm assuming that, you know, since Lee Sin is going to start at this blue buff, he's going to take red, his bottom red, and then probably maybe try and go for a gank bot level 3 since Jin doesn't have a flash. But gonna full clear the Brown's blue side jungle, so Lee Sin's gonna be in the area of this bot lane the whole time. So Jin really has to be careful, and he's hammered playing back because I think he knows.
Okay. Yeah. Just look at the bottom side aggression here. I think Soa needs to try to land as much ease onto that Jin as possible. Definitely don't want Jin to get away with that late game damage, but it looks like Richard Smart is approaching Dean in his own jungle, but Richard Smart taking a lot more damage than he thought. Flashes out.
This is a level 2 Lee Sin. I don't quite agree with
Hammer
that.
getting extremely low. Yeah. Is ignited. One auto attack does go through. Yoltz gets first blood. And good pullback. Double kill goes over to Yoltz. I was talking about this. Yoltz knows how to play the early game like that.
Yeah, I really think that Hammered and Spare should have respected the Kai'Sa. They saw the lane state. They should have known that Kai'Sa and Swain were going to hit that level 2 first. Hammered didn't have flash, so I think they should have just given up that wave and just let it push into tower, because they weren't going to get anything from it. Maokai doesn't do nearly as much damage as Swain early, so I don't know why they thought they would win the 2v2, or like why, close, but really good, lockdown by Soa, landing those last 2 roots.
For sure. And we see that now you see me is getting super low in the top side here. You were talking about this earlier where Noble, they wanted to focus on Noble. I still feel like that is probably the best case for them now that their bot lane is behind. Hammered and Spare now losing, I think that was a full wave of experience and minions. So Dean now getting invaded himself, is up against 2 people. Dean flashes away. Noble also flashes away. And that is 1 blood over to Noble already, as Kanye is there to back him up. Now you see me also there. Daddy Pacific follows Kanye as he
this is still a level 2 Echo.
Yeah. This is a very weak Echo right now. It's just unfortunate that the Dean did not see. I guess they didn't see that both Noble and Rich and Smart were in his jungle, but that was spotted
they didn't
out.
have vision on the river, so
yeah.
I mean, assuming that they didn't. I mean, they lost vision on Noble, so I think they just assumed that he was gonna back. He had shoved his lane pretty hard. So that was a really good play by Brown to try and get Rich and Smart back into the game, because it was 22-8 creep score for them.
Yeah,
for
that
Rich.
is true. And he has an assist, so I guess that will do him good. And Noble, I guess the one goal that they were trying to do was to getting him ahead, so he does have a kill now. Should be able to back with a nice buy. Probably going for that Divine Sunder, I'd assume.
Yeah, I mean, pretty standard build for Trundle, especially against a set. But Dean doing, some good damage against Daddy right now, not letting him, or probably, forcing him to back.
Yeah, I think, Dean was just holding the lane for Kanye, as Daddy is very low. Will he go use that Q right there? Does not look like it. I guess they don't really know where Richard Smart is right now. He is in the bottom side, getting that scuttle. Dean is still looking mid. He's pinging it. As a Yoltz is being aggressive here in the bottom side. Does get the root off with Soa, but Spare gets away.
Yeah, Daddy's overstaying a little bit here, but
yeah, I definitely think he should back. I mean, he has no pots left. He's pressured under tower, and this is just letting Kanye kind of get further and further ahead of him as a flash and ultimate goes through for Kanye. That is a dead Kayn, I believe. No, he does not die, as directed camera does not want to show us the health bar of Daddy Pacific. Is very low still. I'm at 40, 41, 42, 43. And in the midst of that, Kanye was able to escape a gank from Rich and Smart, who is still there, only level 5. I'm surprised that ultimate from Vladimir did not kill Kayn, but I guess that is neither here nor there. It was very close.
Yeah, I think Daddy should have just backed earlier, because he did lose a lot, because he had to play safe against Levad, and he wasn't able to get a lot of those creeps, so I think he would have lost the same amount if he, had backed. But it looks like they're pinging towards this Lee Sin.
Yeah, Dean is getting collapsed on by 3 members, and that is just a dead Lee Sin.
And Echo's still able to get the blue buff, so should be able to even out the creep score.
We have a bit of a 1v1 in the top side. Both ultimates, or one ultimate at least, was expended, but unfortunately the Haymaker just puts on so much shielding. I feel like Set is just not ever going to die in this lane.
I mean, he does have the, he only has a Ruby Crystal right now, so he's not super tanky. He's just the, the natural passive from Set, where he can just, heal it all back, when he gets low. So, but, I mean, he's not going to be able to get much done. I mean, Noble's just going to, they're even in farm, but eventually I think Noble's just going to have the upper hand.
As he does seem to be having the upper hand already. Now you see me very low. Does not have any more potions left. We'll rely solely on that regen. We'll try to farm on the tower. I mean, but Noble is just always full health due to his passive as well.
Yeah,
this is a dive
opportunity.
As well. Yeah. This might be a dive opportunity for Daddy. He is approaching. He's going to go through the wall. He does not apply the slow. He does get the flash, get the ultimate. And that is a dead Set. Daddy Pacific getting solo will get executed, though, on the return.
No!
Oh, man.
Yeah, I mean, Set just not able to do anything. Daddy Pacific literally just flashed and ulted. There was no way that Set was able to get anything done. I believe he missed the E. Because Daddy was right out of range, or I think it might have still been on cooldown from.
It was on cooldown, I think. Yeah. So that was just very unfortunate timing. I mean, when you get so low, that enables Kayn to go and roam and do those sorts of plays, right? So, like, definitely within the theme of playing this mid Kayn very well, I think, so far.
Yeah, and he picked up a tier as well. Very interesting build choice for Daddy right now.
Might be going blue Kayn as Hammered is getting engaged on here. Will be dropped very low. Does pop the heal. Jin will pop the ultimate, but Soa is just going to tank up all that damage as Spare goes down to Soa. And we do have Rich and Smart here as well. Going to back up his Jin as the Hammer does get solo killed right here. by just Yoltz with the flash, and now it seems like Regismart is in trouble here. The thumbs up goes up. Can they get the kill? Yep, the ultimate from Kanye will go through the Q as well. CM Dean responding to Daddy Pacific, sorry, in the mid lane. It's just so much action going on at specific points in time. Yoltz just getting further and further ahead.
Brown just not able to answer the aggression from Gray. Gray playing very well. That was very well executed. I think that Hammered and Spare need to respect the Swain route a lot more. It seems they keep getting hit by it and, you know, getting chunked half, if not more.
Oh, the flash Q from Dean onto Daddy.
That was dirty.
That was immensely dirty. Wow. Very, very quick reaction.
I can't say that Daddy overstayed, because, I mean, you know, he was under tower.
Noble's in trouble.
He still had half health, but three top and the
3 top.
So they're not going to get the Trundle, but
yeah. But yeah, that was pretty clean from Dean there, I'd say. Cementing that statement I said earlier, like we haven't seen Dean on Lee Sin, but that was pretty clean.
Yeah, and he got that early lead as well. The only reason he has somewhat fallen less of a lead was from that early kill at his blue getting trapped by the Trundle and Echo. But I mean, he's still ahead. Still up almost 10 CS. So at least up 1 or 2 camps.
For sure, and I mean, Mountain Dragon is the next objective that's going to be on the map. One Ocean Soul going over to blue side. Do you think that maybe the other team might get this one, and what soul might it be?
I mean, we all want it to be Infernal Soul, but knowing our luck, it'll be a Cloud Soul.
True.
But I don't think that. I mean, this is a 3-0-2 Kaisa. She's, Joltz is up 20 CS, so they have the advantage. And now, Daddy getting low. Gray has the priority. They have all the vision, so I mean, it's very unlikely that Brown will get this dragon. I think this will be the second dragon for the side of Gray. And fight going top lane as well.
Yeah, fight going top lane. Noble popping the subjugate as Dragon is slain. But now you see me is just going to leave and direct to camera. Just, I guess there was no action down in the bottom side. That one Dragon just given up for free as Kanye doing a lot of damage. Gets the Hemoplague onto Daddy, but is it enough? No, the Q goes out. The E, yep, the E will take out Daddy Pacific in that 1v1.
Yeah, so far this mid lane Kane is not really working out for Brown. Only able to get that one roam, successful roam, that is. And having to flash and I mean, he did die for it. I mean, whether, it was still an execute, but...
Hammer getting so low, gets ignited, the 4th proc from the Kaisa, gets that kill, same with Spare, and that is another 2 kills going over to Yoltz.
Yeah, this bot lane is just too far ahead now. Hammered's not going to be able to CS anymore. I believe his
Soa? Yoltz?
Okay. I think they were just trying to finish the tower, but
yeah.
I mean, I believe Hammered and Spare were still dead. They weren't going to be anywhere close, so don't know why they died for that. And they also gave that 450 gold shutdown to the Jhin.
Yeah.
Probably the last person you want to give it to. So very questionable by
very.
I don't know what to say other than they goofed. That was a goof.
That was a goof. That was definitely a goof. Seen doing the insect plays onto Daddy, and Kanye is going to not pick up the kill with the Hemoplague. Dean on the chase. Can he actually get this one?
Might get intercepted by the Echo.
The missed Q will seal the deal for him, I think, as Richard Smart does pop his ultimate. Oh, Dean still gets the kill. Richard Smart's not able to respect him. Finally gets the kill afterwards, but that was kind of a little bit greedy from Daddy there.
I think that's just been the style for Daddy today, is just overstaying his welcome throughout the
Yeah.
game. Starting to see a pattern here where he's really not respecting, especially this Lee Sin. Dean is just has Daddy's number this whole game.
I definitely agree. And it looks like Yoltz and Soa are now in the mid lane here. Rich and Smart does not have ultimate. Okay, the Killer Instinct was performed, but Soa just picks up the double bumps just like that away from Yoltz.
Yeah, gotta even it out, you know. Swain
Yeah.
likes his money too, right?
True. Already has a Leandries, as Yoltz has the nice Kraken Slayer. Looking like a Collector being picked up as well. Mid tower, the next target for all three of these Checkmate members. And Daddy Pacific yet again looking at death, maybe.
Yeah, Yoltz is looking. I'm assuming he's Will back for the last component for second item, or to straight up finish the second item. Jin hammered on the Jin.
Oh, Dean popping the ultimate, but we'll just get yoinked by Yoltz. And Dean does the insect once again. Rich and Smart, next one to fall. Spare is in there. He's kind of in a 1v3. I don't know if that's the play, Spare, as, you know, just another kill over to Yoltz.
Yeah, I mean, Gray was the underdog going into this game, so the fact that they're just obliterating Brown right now is really shows you that anything can happen in the Silver League, as Noble and Nicemium fight as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the wet noodle fight, pretty much the entire game from both these top laners.
I don't know, Noble's noodles. I don't know if it's a noodle. I mean, that block of ice really hurts.
For sure. He does have a substantial CS lead and 1 kill. Looks like they're going to collapse onto Noble now, though. This is the one player that is doing fairly well on the side of Brown. Can he get out of this? He does pop the subjugate. Yoltz flashes away, so misses his pull. He will pop his own ultimate as Noble is just going to run it down under tower, and that is another kill going over to Soa. Meanwhile, Daddy Pacific getting pressured by Dean. Dean looking to try to insect once again. The nice Tom
Dean's
Kench,
not going to let Daddy Pacific play this game. That's essentially what's happening right now.
So,
he hasn't left his site this entire game.
So I think
and now we have a 7-1
kill,
and 4 Kaisa.
Yeah, I think with that kill there, I mean, Noble almost was able to get Yoltz, but they just can't do anything with the entire rest of their map kind of being under siege from Checkmate. So how do they really come back from this? Do they even come back at all?
I mean, honestly, I think Noble should have. I mean, he had TP advantage for a good while. He hasn't used his TP in a long. I think he's only used the TP once. In that second dragon, he actually had TP while the set did not. So they actually might have been able to secure that second dragon if they used the TP from Noble. They could have maybe secured this dragon, even though Zed also has TP, but I don't know. I think they need to use this Trundle a lot more since he's the only one that's, you know, not doing
Okay, so, I mean, Spare, sorry to interrupt, but Spare just gets annihilated. And Dean does get shut down as Daddy Pacific looking for something here. He's going to try to get a proc with his ultimate. Jin firing up his curtain call. Does not get a few shots off. And that is the end of that fight. They just keep trading
it's
back
over.
and
It's
forth.
gonna be Clan Fiesta. I'm not gonna be able to talk right now.
Yoltz, yeah, I mean, well, that's just self-explanatory right there. Yoltz just is so strong right now. 2 items in, sitting comfortably at only 1 death from the questionable int earlier, but that's quite all right.
And Yoltz basically said, started blasting.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, I just feel bad for Hammered and Spare in this game right now. They're pretty useless. They can't do anything. A Jin that's super behind is just terrible. Kaisa full item up on Hammered now.
As we say
Noble
that,
doing his best.
Noble's doing his best. He does have the regen, and the subjugate was already expelled, but Kanye just able to keep queuing and healing and queuing and healing. So,
well, they can essentially just leave Yoltz and Soa to basically solo the rest of the team at this point. So
yeah,
they can send 3 people to kill Noble every chance that he's in lane.
Yeah, that is fair. And I think if you're the side of Brown, you have to just respect the collapses, right? At this point in the game, the laning phase is over. If you're in, you know, pushed up that far in lane with no tower behind you, you're going to get collapsed on. And that is collapse on mid lane here. Yoltz picking up another kill Rich and Smart, the next target. Rich and Smart does dodge the nice pull, but not the Q from Lee Sin. Nice E to back away there, but Yoltz is just so strong. Picks up, once again, another kill.
And Dean is just styling on them. He even had the
The back
disrespectful
recall. Yep.
back recall and then into the queue. Uh, Love to see it. I mean, he's just having a blast this game now. You know, his scoreline doesn't look, how he's been playing. So
Yeah, I think just the pressure, right? I mean, he's been
yeah,
pressuring Daddy all game. And I mean, if you're Daddy, I'd be pretty like upsetty spaghetti about that one, you know.
spaghetti indeed. Um,
uh, looks like Brown wants to try something here though. Daddy Pacific going in with the ultimate, and the root goes on the Soa, but Soa pops the ultimate and gets a nice kill there. Yoltz is just too strong at this point. Does pick up the double kill. Rich Smart might be the third. Maybe Dean will get it here. Yep, but does get the Q off. Will stylistically annihilate Rich and Smart. And
that's
that
a
might
better
be the end of the game.
scoreline. 3 KDA on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, true. Very true.
Maybe
But yeah.
some miscommunication from Noble. I mean, he has TP, but he's just pushing the wave. I guess he's just going to let Gray end here. So that's going to be game 1 going over to Team Gray.
Yeah.
Checkmate. So, underdog. So I think it was like a 74 to 28% in favor of Brown. So some gaps going to whoever voted for Gray this past time, which I know it wasn't me. I was expecting Brown. I liked their picks. I think the one thing I was worried about was that Kane, which did not work out. Dean had his number, and then obviously bot lane just steamrolled the game. So
yeah, definitely an interesting game. I mean, we saw the early aggression come out in the beginning of the game, and then ever since then, Checkmate have just kind of dominated everything else. So definitely kind of a bit of a leeway to maybe the second game changes. I don't know how. I have to agree. I don't think the Kane pick probably was the move into the mid lane, at least. I feel like even switching up just those champions, like Echo could have gone mid, right?
Yep.
I don't. It was just, it could have been that, but unfortunately it was the Kane mid. So maybe that's something they'll have to kind of change in the second draft coming. But for now, yeah, Checkmate now at game point already. So let's see
and just a testament to how well Dean played. I mean, you see the scoreline, and you're like, you see the 12-1 and 6 Kaisa, and then like a 4-4-8 Lee Sin. He actually only did 1,000 damage less than Yoltz.
Wow.
Yeah, so he just did so much in the game. I think it was also several times he almost killed Daddy and forced him to back. And
yeah.
So I would say I would give that game to Yoltz. He played really well, got his team, super ahead. They were able to. Dean was able to play as much as he did because bot lane was just so solid. Lee Sin never really had to show up bot after first couple double kills. So I think Yoltz just being how when you have we have an 80 carry, you want them just to be consistent, and he was consistently killing Hammered and I mean it was so as well, obviously, really good lockdown by the Swain. But I think there are some really good ultimates by Yoltz, he used it very efficiently, I think, to close the distance on a lot of fights where and he was not in position at all, and then he ults and then immediately kills his target, which was, Kaisa was kind of an assassin that game.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I mean, just the early pulls from Soa, I mean, solidified a lot of those kills down the bottom lane. And they are going to switch sides. So that is a start, I guess, to the differences between game 1 and 2. As now Hammered and Spare, I mean, I think I like the look from Jin and Maokai, but I think the respect, from Swain just needs to be there, talking about that bot lane, because they just got pulled way too often, I think. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I mean, especially early, like I said, that they played that level 2 or that level 1 very badly. I mean, in no
yeah,
flash, Kaisa and Swain hit level 2 first, and they were pushed up, like they were just in Swain range. When they can see the lane pushing towards them, they have less minions. So you should know, like, hey, they're gonna hit level 2 first. We don't have flash, or Jin doesn't have flash. We should just let the wave push in. Because I
yeah,
mean, it is Kaisa. She's gonna press Q. Swain's gonna try and hit E. That's gonna shove the wave more. It's gonna do damage to minions, and it's eventually gonna hit tower. So I think they really just need to, uh, if that's if they're in the same situation next game, they need to be a lot more perspective. Like you said.
yeah. They need to be, a little bit cognizant of, hey, that's Swain. It's Swain. He does damage. I mean, we saw like a lot of those pulls. I think it was probably an 80% hook chance, probably. But yeah,
He missed the first, like the
yeah,
second and third one, but he was just warming up.
yeah.
And then
Just
after
warm
that,
up.
it was just disgusting.
Yeah, and I mean
And
the
so much burst coming
coordination.
from Kaisa.
Yeah, the coordination between Yoltz and So I feel was very on point as the draft has now started. So now we have switch sides here, and oops, I did not put in that thing. Whoops, let me put it in real quick. There we go. Oh, that was the wrong one.
Oh, I had the wrong window up. No wonder. I was like, why is it already full? That was last.
Yeah,
It was
that
last
I had
draft.
the wrong. Yeah, sorry. But yeah,
That
they
was on
will
me.
go ahead and ban out the Vladimir this time around, on the side of, or against Gray rather. So that is a
Yeah,
start.
which is
Swain as well.
kind of weird because I don't think the Vlad was really the problem that game. I definitely think it was the Lee Sin Kaisa, and like you said, Yoltz is very comfortable in that Kaisa, because they banned the Samira last game or last draft. So
Yeah,
guess they're just gonna leave it up
I think they're
unless
just
they.
banning. I mean, I guess they're just banning things that just was played last game, assuming that they're gonna go back to it, which is fair. But yeah, I agree with
Yeah.
you that I don't think Vlad was necessarily the problem there. I do think Swain
They,
was
they are
definitely a
blue
problem.
side, so they could. Oh no, there's the Kaisa ban. I was
Ah,
gonna say they
okay,
could first pick the Kaisa,
right.
but Gray just going with the same 3 bans. So just trying to make sure Noble has a terrible time.
Yeah,
You know,
who did
banning
do
him
pretty
out.
well on Trundle. I think he did fairly well versus the set, but I don't think that was enough to like get a lead in lane and make sure that he was continuously getting leads. I do think that there need to be a little bit more support over on the side of Noble, like just on that top side in general, for him to actually snowball the lane. But it looks like first pick Draven here. What do you think about that?
Exact opposite of last game. Jin, kind of a safer, early laning phase. You just want to get a few items on him. Let him ramp up. Very mobile. Just really, he scales super well. Whereas now Draven, the exact opposite. He wants to have
Yeah.
early aggression as much as possible, and the answer is going to be Vayne Thresh from the side of Gray. So Vayne, a lot weaker early compared to the Draven. Thresh could potentially even that out. I think Raven Thresh would have been really good, so stealing that Thresh away
That's fair.
from the side of Brown. That was the big problem last game. Is I mean, first of all, they lost their blue buff early, so and then Echo tried had a failed fight with Lee Sin in his
Yeah.
own blue side jungle when he should have just gone to the other blue side. Lee Sin wins that level 2, so I don't know what he was thinking. So jungler's already behind. Bot's already behind because Jin already losing a flash, and then Kaisa Swain hit level 2 first. So already most of the game is they're playing behind. They do get a return kill eventually onto Dean, but we'll see what they do.
Wow.
Viger Nico. So lots of AP already coming out for the side of Brown.
Yeah. Samira as well coming out from Gray. Is this like a switcheroo that I'm unfamiliar with? Like, is Viger going? Viger's going support, I think, or Nico, and then Vayne possibly top. I wonder.
Hmm.
That is a interesting dilemma here.
Hey,
You know,
who did you say that played the Vayne jungle? Was that Dean or was that?
that was Dean. That was Dean. So maybe we'll see that.
Could be,
Huh.
it could be that jungle Vayne.
Could
We
be
could see it.
it. I mean, yeah, Gray do have a game up on Brown, so this might be the time to shine, Dean.
Yeah, it looks
Or it
like
might be a
Brown's
flex
just gonna
pick.
ban every single champion played last game from the
Yeah.
side of Gray. Like, all right, we're not gonna let this happen again. We're just gonna ban the entire team. What are we
Oh
missing?
man.
The set. So if they ban the set, they just ban the whole team.
Oh, it
I
will
ban
be
the J4.
Jarvan.
So
Okay.
ooh, if they
And
pick the Renekton,
Renekton.
it's still probably gonna be that jungle Vayne.
Yeah.
And I'm actually
Yeah.
excited to see this now.
I'm excited for this too.
Just for the tomfoolery clan fiesta shenanigans. Let's do it. I'm ready. I mean, we had mid Kane last game. Now we have jungle Vayne. It's the Silver League, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be interesting. And the Alawi pick, which I like, which I think so the Alawi and the Samira was banned last draft. So they might be getting more comfort picks this time around. So
Okay. Yeah,
and I'm still kind of confused by Brown's comp. You know, we'll see once these next two picks come out. And Gray leaving up their counter pick for the mid lane, which, I mean, you know what? It's game 2 of the Silver League. It could be a mid Samira or a mid Vayne. You never know.
you never know. You really don't until we get into that actual client draft. But it looks like the Garen is going to be locked in for the top side. So yeah, it's either going to be Nico or Viger mid. We'll have to see. Is Teemo being hovered?
Teemo being hovered.
Yeah, this is interesting because you can't really say, okay, this gonna work or not. I mean, you know, it's all down to how comfortable these people are on their characters. So, and Silas looks like is gonna be the one locked in, the last pick of the draft. So I'm gonna throw out.
Yeah, that is one aggressive team coming out from Gray. That's, I mean. Those team fights are going to be scary. Lots of AoE, especially if Silas takes the Nico ultimate. So we have Alawi ultimate, all the tentacles, Samira ultimate, and the Nico ultimate. Like, because that's the big thing of with Samira is, you know, as soon as you stun her, you cancel her ultimate, and then she loses all of her momentum. If everyone's stunned from a Nico ultimate and Samira hits that S, like, that's pretty scary. That'll literally just wombo combo the entire team. So I would definitely keep Nico as far away from Silas as you can, or actually even the Nunu ultimate, and you know, big AOE ultimate right there as well. So might be seeing the wombo combo from Gray. I think those team fights are going to be scary. I don't think Brown has a lot to answer with that because, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Wookie. They don't have a lot of engage other than, you know, a snowball from, you know, Agavor or
I think I agree.
mean, they don't have a lot of engage. A good cage and, you know, maybe you know, I'll have to get a flank. I don't really see a lot of tools Brown at all.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of tools
scaling.
to get in. They do have a lot of scaling and a lot of damage though.
Right.
I feel like, you know, the Checkmate have the team to kind of get away and kite from that. You know, the Thresh Flay, the Vayne just tumbling everywhere, Samira dashing through things, and Alawi just needs to sit in the middle of all of that and kind of tank everything and make sure that she's healthy. Silas, same thing, kind of disruption, kind of an extra tool. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting game. Now that we're seeing the Vayne jungle, I'm excited to see how much practice Dean has put into this.
We talked about the first game, you know, maybe seeing it later in the season. Nope, we're gonna see it later today in the second game.
Yeah,
but I think Brown's gonna be playing a lot more reactive. You know, since they don't have the engage, they're either gonna have to go for picks or they're gonna have to play, you know, around the engage of Gray. I mean, Silas able to, you know, dash in with the chains. Thresh landing a good hook and it's all over. So I mean, I think that Gray has a little bit more tools. I mean, they don't have like hard engage like a Malphite or like, you know, a Sejuani or a Rel, but they do have, I think, more tools, and they have a lot more, I think, team fight-esque comp than Brown's. I think I think they're probably just going for more comfort picks and just trying to be
Yeah.
safe.
I
It
think
looks like.
that Brown have to play for the early game here, right? Because Richard
Oh,
Smart being on
absolutely.
Nunu is gonna have to look for those nice snowballs, especially when you have a Viger cage you can set up with, when you have a Nico route you can set up with. Garen not so much, obviously, because he has nothing to really like go in on. But you can like go
Right.
behind a Noble maybe, or I mean, now you see me and kind of gank that way. But that would be the only kind of setup that they have. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And then they have to ease into the scaling. Obviously Viger, a lot of damage when you get, so much passive procs, and that is where the late game comes. It's kind of interesting that Viger is paired with Draven here, because like you don't expect them to do so much damage, but if Viger lands a two-man root or two-man stun, that's a lot of damage that Draven can dish out, especially if you max E first on Viger. So I'm kind of interested to see how much improvement that Brown can do this game. But on the other side, like we've been saying, like they have a lot of disengaged tools and kind of kiting that Gray can pull off. But I think they do have to get through the early game in order to kind of utilize that, because Nunu Snowball, that packs a wallop.
Yeah, I mean they have to. You're right. I mean, especially with Draven, getting those stacks early. I mean, I hate watching professional play, and I think there was like a Golden Guardians game where they put their AD carry on Draven and then just didn't give him kills all game, and it's
Oh
like,
wow.
well, then why pick Draven? So I hope that Brown, they're able to recognize like, hey, we picked Draven, we have a not hard carry top and jungle and even somewhat mid. Put everything on Draven. Put everything on Hammered. He's the captain. Let him, be a hero. Win the second game to continue the series. Because they have to mental reset. Because I think they got really tilted that first game towards the end. So, we'll see if they have the mental reset and they're able to, collect themselves and
Yeah.
get ready for game 2. Fresh start. It's a new game. Series isn't over. Um, I've seen,
We want a game 3.
come back very easily 2-1. Yeah. But
So
I just I do like Gray's comp more.
okay,
I mean,
that is fair.
we'll see about the jungle vein. I think that's obviously going to be the
Yeah.
big question mark for the game.
Question mark. Yep.
Um,
Definitely, I agree.
I haven't seen the clear, so I don't even know if the clear is good. I mean, I'm assuming it's not too bad.
I know. I know way less than Dean does about this jungle vein. Okay.
So we're gonna trust him. He kills on the Lee Sin. We'll see if he can kill it on the vein.
Yeah. And I mean, thank you for the shoutouts from Ace Realness. We appreciate all our viewers here, so we very much appreciate that. And Ryleon, thank you so much as well. And with that, when we get back, we're gonna be going on to game 2. Can Checkmate 2-0 this, or will Brown mount a comeback? Stay tuned. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Game 2 of Checkmate Gray versus Delaware Derby Brown. And as soon as it loads up, there it is. We have a nice 5-stack coming out from Checkmate once again.
And also from Delaware. They're
Yeah.
doing the opposite. They're trying to do the blue side invade, and it looks like they just might trade buffs. I mean, I think it's really gonna come down to, does someone recall? They don't see. Obviously, Gray doesn't see anyone, so they're not doing a 5-star. They are pinging.
I don't know what they're doing at this point.
Yeah, I think they're just.
Maybe they're just doing a late invade. I mean, that's fair.
I think they were probably just waiting to see if someone was gonna face check. I don't think
yeah.
they were gonna try and full commit to the invade. Just kidding. They are at 120.
It's a very late invade. They're not going to find anything, and
Noble, I was gonna say, needs to recall.
they're going to take the blue at least. So that is going to be 1 blue in the pocket of Rich and Smart, and unbeknownst to the other side.
Yeah, I mean, both sides just taking the blue.
But looks like Noble
is gonna check it.
Okay, Dean does get the blue buff on the other side. Now they know. But do they know about the other jungler and whereabouts of him? As Hammered and Spare are being aggressive once again during the early stages of the game.
Yeah, Hammered's really gonna have to step up this game and get some early kills.
As soon as I say that, the caster curse. I guess I cursed him for a bit there, but does get.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like this Vigar pick because if Thresh does that, then Vigar can just throw at the cage and stun him.
Oh,
but
wait, Daddy Pacific is in the jungle here. Kanye knocked him up. He flashed over the wall. Direct to camera, wants to go to bot lane though. So getting so low. First blood goes over to Hammer this time, as he's under trouble too. Flash comes in from Yoltz. Yoltz picks up a kill of himself, but back at the top side, Kanye does land the hook. Dean gets the kill though. And wow, that was a lot of action. Holy moly.
Yep.
And we do have a disconnect here. Wonder if they ended up pausing. Or are they just going
it's possible that Noble has made an early exit. There's no pause coming out.
Okay.
There's
the pause was for a split second. I saw it. But
okay.
Yeah, he is reconnected as Kanye is getting poked out. But yeah, that was a good roam from him to kind of shut down Daddy there. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, Silas really good at at closing the gap. Able to jump over the wall and lock down Daddy. Does survive for longer than I had expected, but does die at the end. And then 1 for 1 down in the bot lane. Both kills going to 80 carries. But Samir just a little ahead on CS. Since Draven was did drop, so. Yolt's able to get an extra wave as well as the kill. But first blood to Draven, so he should be ahead. I don't know how many adoration stacks he had at the time, but it doesn't look like he had a terrible back, coming back with 2 long swords.
Yeah, and we kind of see the opposite of what happened last game up with the top side, where Now You See Me is pressuring Noble this time. Is that, like, expected, I think, of the matchup, or is it just something else, or is it just waiting?
For which? Sorry, I'm not gonna lie. I totally zoned out.
Alawi versus Garen. I mean, we see Now You See Me, like, very pushed up. Kind of different from last game.
Alawi has to manage the mana pool, but
Spare. Wait, hold on 1 second. Spare is in trouble. Spare is down already, so picks up the kill. As Hammered flashes away. Kanye, meanwhile, in the mid lane, gets away.
Yeah, real close for both Hammered and Kanye. Could have been, 2 for 1. for the side of Brown, or excuse me, Gray, but ended up just getting the kill on the Viger, which, I mean, really good Thresh Hook by Soa. You know, he's just not missing today. You know, first the Swain roots and now the Thresh Hooks. But
I mean,
possible dive on Hammered.
oh,
Rain is in the area. And Cleanse does go down as well. So no sums for Hammered, which they probably know at this point. I don't think they know that the Viker's coming, though. So I think Dean's just going to take the Krugs.
I mean, all it takes is one condemn, right? And you lock down someone. But, yeah, that cage is going to kind of ruin the plans, I think.
Yeah, they can't dive now, you know, that the Viker's up. That cage is just anti, you know, tower dive. It's just not going to happen. So, some good trades by Daddy in the mid lane.
You mean by Kanye? He actually almost chunked Daddy to death there.
Caster curse.
Yeah, and I mean, we see that Checkmate have kind of the upper hand once again. Already 1k gold lead. As Rich and Smart hasn't been really doing the kind of aggressive snowball early, I think.
Yeah, I mean, that was also a level 6 Silas against a level 4 Nico, so I think Daddy should have just let the wave push a little bit and not be in range of Silas chains. But he will live, so it's not the worst. You know, you can have to burn Flash. Obviously, you know, he doesn't have Flash, so it'll be coming up soon. But I think he should definitely wait to even get close to this wave until that Flash is up.
Spare, yep, looks like Spare and Rich and Smart are there. Flash does go off of Kanye. So at least there's some respect, and now a little bit of breathing room over to Daddy. But I do feel it's the same situation that we talked about last game, where he's just overstaying. I mean, trying to he can try to freeze the wave right in front of his tower, but Kanye is doing a very good job of punishing any step up from Daddy so far. And Dean is nearby. They might actually look for the patient gank coming out in the mid lane here. But I think Daddy is a little bit too far safe, as now you see me is in trouble. But the 2v1 comes out, the ultimate does go through. And meanwhile, in the mid lane, Daddy Pacific gets 3 shots by Dean.
I guess the jungle vein works. I mean, he's doing pretty well. Behind a little CS to the Nunu, but I mean, that doesn't surprise me. It is Nunu. I mean, his passive literally gives him...
Oh no, Spare. Oof.
Yeah. Ooh, force the
blow the flash.
Yeah, 2 kills on this vein already. That is not what you want to see on a very scaling jungler.
Yeah, I mean, already has the Berserker's Greaves. That's a lot of damage with 3 proc, and certainly did do its job against Daddy, who's getting kind of punished over and over again. Spare locks up Yoltz. Yoltz just gets away with the lantern. A little bit of the same dynamic there too, as now you see me is in trouble, or no, it's Noble that's in trouble here. Getting chased down by Dean, gets a nice slow from the Alawi, and that's it for Noble. As a unexpected flash comes out, as Hammered now the one in trouble on the other side of the map. Yoltz flashes in, heals in, but Soa gets that kill. Spare is now looking for Rich and Smart. Rich Smart is gonna get that nice shutdown onto Yoltz, as Soa trying to walk away. Can he actually get away? Though the cage does come out. Spare just hit level 6, but he doesn't have enough mana.
Oh, the mana.
Yeah, that's kind of a feels bad moment.
I'm pretty sure he was even hitting minions so that he would hit level 6, but not able to finish it out. Did get 2 kills. They did kill the Samira, so the kill didn't go on Draven though. The kill went on the Nunu, so no adoration stacks for Hammered.
Now you see me pops the ultimate again, but Noble has other plans and just Demacian justices the Alawi.
I guess that answers your question on this lane. You know, once the Bramble Vest goes out, Garen's just able to outlast the Alawi.
I think that was also kind of a misplay by Now You See Me too, because Alawi, no mana means you can't do pretty much anything with your healing, as now the TP is coming through. Noble is in the midst of 2 members. Dean does get the condemn off, and that's a very dead Noble.
Yeah, I don't even think he overstayed there. I just think that was a really good answer by Gray. He's still in the middle of the wave. He had the, I believe, ward in the river. So, yeah, he did have a ward in the river. So he knew what was going on. He just couldn't answer quick enough.
Yeah, looks like Yoltz is engaging here, but he's getting chunked low. One more auto. Oh, the ultimate comes in from Spare. Primarily burst used. Now Soa is the next target. Cage locks up Soa. Soa gets a nice death sentence onto Rich and Smart, but it's not enough. Ooh, they didn't even get the kill onto Soa.
Yeah, and the kill going on to Vigar. Cameron's still only 1 kill on this Draven and died again, so he lost some more Adoration stacks. So, I don't think it was the miscommunication. I mean, Hammer was going to die no matter what before the Samira, so...
Oh, no. Noble's in trouble again. Gets condemned into the wall, and he is just disrespecting that turret damage coming out from the Rift Herald. Oof.
That is a scary Vayne.
Yeah.
5-0, 58 CS. Which not a lot. It's because Dean's too busy farming champions. He's punishing Noble. They know that's where their strength is. So, 500 gold shutdown, which... I mean, that's a pretty large shutdown.
Wait a minute. Now You See Me pop in the ultimate, but Rich and Smart just dying immediately to Now You See Me. Daddy Pacific is going to get picked off by Vayne here. Now You See Me is very low, surviving until the very end. Kanye, the last one standing. That was a 2 for 2, straight up.
Yeah, and Noble probably a lot happier now. He gets some retribution for the Vayne early, getting that shutdown from Dean, so... Noble, I mean, at least getting revenge for now. We'll see what he ends up backing with that large chunk of gold.
Yep. Now 3-3, as we do see Rich and Smart and Spare coming up from the bottom side. Forces Yoltz and Soa to just play a little bit safer. Never mind, a death sentence goes through onto Rich and Smart. But no follow-up there. Yoltz might be in trouble. The nice Vigar cage does come out. Yoltz gets chunked pretty low. Primordial Burst does burst him down. Shutdown goes over to Draven, but now they're in trouble. Dean coming in here. Spare looking like kind of fresh meat for Vayne, as 3 shots will get the double kill. Yoltz in a 1v1 with Hammer up at the top, but nope. Kanye misses the chains. Dean on the chase with the passive. Gonna run into Daddy here. Does not have the ultimate just yet. Pulls out the root. Now has the ultimate. Pops. But no damage. And Dean is just going to try to get as many autos off as possible.
Yeah, Daddy only with the Hex Tech. So, or the, what's it called? The Alternator.
The Alternator.
Yeah. So, not a lot of damage on him yet on this
Dean
Nico.
Kind of trapped here, but Kanye is here to back him up. Daddy nowhere to be seen just yet, as Dean is just tearing amok.
Yeah, I think that's one of those moments where it's, Dean telling the other team, like, you need to call an ambulance, but not for me. So
for sure.
You weren't trapped. Dean was not trapped with you. You were trapped with Dean.
Exactly.
Noble trying to do his best top lane.
Yeah, Noble getting very, very far behind now. It's not even that Now You See Me is, annihilating him. It's just the amount of pressure that Gray have put on the top side of the map this game has kind of made it difficult for Noble to actually do anything.
Yeah, I mean, he's just so behind. Lowy been there. They took first tower. Took a lot of damage off the tower as well. I mean, got, I think, most of the plates. They're up 30 CS. So, I mean, if you look at the itemization, like, Noble hasn't even finished his Mythic yet. I mean, he's building all over the place, and then, Lowy hasn't finished Hex Tech. Or, excuse me, Hex Drinker.
As the flash goes through in the bottom side, but we're up at the top side. Now You See Me is now the one in trouble. Flash gets a nice flash over the wall. Secures the escape, as bottom side getting pressured 3 members of Gray are here versus 2 members of Brown. They want to go on Yolts, but I don't think that's the right thing. Mortal Shieldbow does a lot of shielding. Hammered does not get condemned or flayed. Will survive as the axes, the spinning axes, does not get the Yolts, who is just healing up. 3 and 2 on the Samira, 40 CS ahead. Hammered is just dead from 3 shots of Dean. Daddy Pacific tries his best and does not get out alive.
Wow. I don't think the Thresh Lantern was necessary, but good reflex by Soa, you know, just in case. But this is a very, very fed Vayne. So,
Yeah.
what that was, what I think a 2-level difference from the jungler onto the mid lane.
Yeah.
So, like, oh, that's just, I mean, and now we've got a Wit's End on the Vayne, which Wit's End Kraken Slayer, 2 completed items. Top and mid and jungle on the side of Brown haven't even finished their first item. They still are working with components. And this Vayne has 2 items. Like, this is not looking good for Brown. This is probably one of those moments where I think it's already over. Like, I mean, Gray is already up 10,000 gold. I mean, it could cast or curse it, but 4 towers to 0, 1 dragon to 0, and it's not even 20 minutes.
You could caster curse it. I would be getting us to a game 3, but I don't know. At 10k gold, it's hard to come back from that, especially when you have all of these, you know, scaling champions on your team like Vigar and Nico. I mean, Draven didn't even get ahead during the early game. Nunu didn't really get ahead during the early game, so it's going to be very hard to try to pin down this Vayne. And Yolts, as well as Dean actually getting into a bit of a 1v4, gets shut down by Vigar nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, we would have preferred that to go on to Hammered, but I think they just wanted to kill Dean before he killed, you know, killed Brown.
Yeah, it's better to be safe than sorry, as the saying goes. That means that Rift is going to be over to Gray, as Rich and Smart looking for the 1v1 on Kanye. Kanye 0-0 and 3, but still has the damage output. Daddy Pacific, gets the stun, but Kanye does finish up Rich and Smart. Daddy Pacific now in the opposite side of the jungle here.
I mean, just look at the CS difference in the middle lane. 130 to 80 for Silas. He's lane kingdom right now.
Yep, Daddy Pacific does get rooted up. That is the correct one, and Kanye makes his mark. He's now in a 1v2 situation, but I think he has the ability to do this. Possibly not. We'll see. Kanye pulls the primordial burst, but does not end up winning the 1v2. Hammered will pick up that kill, as Rift Herald was popped mid. They already took down the first inhibitor tower. Now the inhibitor itself might fall soon, but Soa gets locked up. Rich and Smart does have to back off a bit. Yolts is going to pull. The ultimate does get interrupted or cancels it. Not sure which one. Does pick off Rich and Smart. And we're back to Spare getting killed. Double kill over here. Minions will not do the work onto Soa. And yeah, they're just in their base for however long they want at this point.
Yeah, 10 health left on that Thresh. So close. But and I think, you know, we didn't get to see a lot of that fight with Hammered and Dean, but it looked like Hammered almost got the upper hand on Dean, but when there's an 11, 2, and 1 Vayne, it's not much you can do.
Yep, I mean, it's so hard to come back from this, and they're just in their base. Richard Smart doing his best to try to disrupt the situation, but there's just so much damage coming out from the 2 carries of Checkmate. And Spare gets literally 3-shot from Vayne. This is just sad to see if you're a Brown fan out there. I am so sorry, but unfortunately, Dean on the Vayne has the damage, has the capabilities, will take out this next turret, as 4 members are just sitting in their base. Almost.
Yeah, the rest of the members of Brown are coming back to the Rift. They are respawning, but I mean, that's going to be the 3rd inhib, which, I mean, historically is a death sentence for most teams.
Ooh, nice cleanse coming out from Dean to kind of solidify the survivability there.
Yeah, it just
And
realized we didn't talk about the cleanse this entire game. You know, Vayne not opting for the flash, opting for the cleanse, which I mean,
hey,
hardly ever see any junglers take cleanse. That not only Vayne jungle, but Vayne jungle with cleanse. Just been such a hectic game. We haven't even got to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, since level 1, it's been hectic, but yeah, cleanse on both sides. One for Hammered, one for Dean. I mean, it has been working out. I mean, he has been surviving these nice Vygar cages that would certainly mean death, I think, at this point. Just like that second death of Dean's, where he was caught in that 1v4. If that happens again, I mean, hey, that's a lot of gold going over to who gets that shutdown.
I mean, hopefully it goes on to one of the carries. I mean, even if it goes on to Vygar, he is building, full damage with the Luden's Tempest and the Orb so far. So going to be opting for that Merlenomicon, which I mean makes sense, against a shield bow Samira. Like that's, a really good pick up by the Vygar.
Yeah,
They have those small wins.
I mean, Dean is just in their base. Spare has to flash. He's just 1v5ing at this point. Dean looking for the kill on Daddy now. Switches his target to the turret. Unfortunately, Noble is back here. Does pull the ultimate. A nice shutdown going over to Noble.
I mean, that's the thing is he was 1v5ing and they're just going to take Baron for free. There's already double supers in the base of Brown. So, yeah. I mean, yes, they lost Dean, but they still have Yoltz. They still have Kanye. Like, I mean, Alawi can 1v3. They're just probably going to walk it in. I mean, they're going to have supers in the top lane. I'm assuming Kanye's going to push that in. I mean, it doesn't matter. They're all going to converge onto the Nexus now anyways, yeah. But
this is imminent.
Baron double super minions, this is just game.
It's getting chunked
down. They're going to have one more try.
Flash. One more fight, but I don't know if it's enough. Kanye does take out Noble as Naisimi is under trouble fire here as Spare picks up that kill. But the minions are just doing work to the Nexus, and that's game 2 over to Checkmate. 2-0 of the night.
Congratulations to Team Gray. I mean, they were the underdogs going in the first game, lower in the standings, and very decisive 2-0 by them. So congratulations to them. New to the league as well, I believe. So looks like they're filling in nicely, getting their groove on.
We'll put up the damage charts as Gray takes game 2, and now we have to choose a MVP. Ooh. I think I already know who is on your mind. But
yeah, I mean, it's got to be Dean. I mean, especially that Vayne game, 21,300 damage. Next closest is the AD carry at 14,000. Doing just 50% more damage than your carry as a jungler. Feels good. Feels pretty good. Meaning, he was styling on the Lee Sin. Like I said, his KDA scoreline didn't look like, he was like the main carry, compared to Yoltz, but I think he just set up his team so well, especially shutting down the Kayn and preventing any roaming, which, would have been helpful, in that early game. So I would give it to Dean, maybe even Yoltz or Soa. Very, very strong bot lane showing by them as well in both games. So I would pick somewhere around there, But my personal vote is going to be Dean.
Yeah, I think Dean just played pretty well, very, very well both games, and like you just can't like deny a 12-2 Vayne so early on. Like it was very well performed from both, in both games. So yeah, I think Dean would have to be mine. But you go ahead and post your MVP votes. The poll is now up, as Dean does have 5 votes, is the top one. But yeah, that was a very good performance, very good comeback for the underdogs of this league. And are you shaking in your boots yet? Primus.
I mean, oh, for me personally, for green.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like that. You know, if that were to happen to me, you know, that Vayne pick would have at least thrown us off. I mean, I think we're currently second place. I want to say, because
Okay.
I will say I'm very scared of Pink. You know, they're currently first place. They're doing very well. But I mean, it's only this was the 4th week, so we are halfway through. I'm pretty sure. So, Gray looks like they're on an upward trend. So, and we play them second to last, so they might be disgusting when we finally get to play them week 6. So you never know. I'm not looking forward to it. I will say. I mean, they look very very strong in those games. So good for Gray. Glad they got to join the league, and great play by every member. You know, it was a clean stomp, I'd say. I don't think there was really any weak lane from Gray.
Yeah. So yeah, I have to agree. I mean, there was just no. Only for Noble, I think, was there a side where I feel like Brown could have came back, but in that second game, Noble just got shut down. And thanks to Dean, I think, because he was the one that was kind of pressuring the top side the most out of that game. Condemning Garen into the wall twice in a row. I think within like 5 minutes, maybe, as Noble was getting back to lane, it was just solidified. Like, hey, there is no chance to come back. I think that's what did it for them.
Yeah. I mean, and that's why I did like Yolt's play, because they were just so ahead both games that Dean can just go do as he please. In the first game he was camping Daddy Pacific so hard, and then in the second game camping Noble so hard, just giving the solo laners absolutely no avenue to get ahead. And and now you see me able to just kind of survive in that first game, but Kanye able to take advantage of that solo lane. Rich and Smart wasn't able to do anything to Kanye that entire game. So, at the end, I think he was up 40-50 CS, which he had been the whole time. And then, finally I think, it was a slow start for Kanye. It was more just kind of like a farming the mid lane a majority of the time, coming in for a few fights. Which is why, he only has 7 of the 29 KP. But I mean, very consistent from Kanye. Just didn't have as much of an impact. Just kind of sat in lane, which is they were able to do, because they can just let Kanye sit there and farm up and be that late. We didn't even get to see the late game Silas.
Yeah, for sure. And with that, it is Dean as your MVP for the night. I'm not sure if he is ready for the interview. Oh, he doesn't know about it. Here at Team Gap, we do interview our MVPs after the series. So let me see if he's ready.
Yeah, I mean, if not, we can pull in Yoltz. I think he was a close second. I think he just played super consistent, really well. Great plays on the Kaisa, I liked. Got a little over aggressive on the Samira, I think. But there's Dean.
Hello, Dean. Hey.
Hey, am I on stream?
Yeah.
Yes, you are on stream.
Way. Can I say hi?
MVP of the night.
Can I say hi to my brother?
Yeah,
absolutely not.
Of course.
Hey, Adele, what's up? Whoa.
Yeah. Hi, Dean's brother. Hope you're proud of your bro. Little brother or big brother?
Little brother.
Oh yeah, you gotta show him up.
Yeah.
Like, this could be you in a few years.
Yeah, he's trying to be like me. He's trying to be good video games. Carry about 80 carries. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right. I mean, strong showing by you, Dean.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
We had talked about in the first game that you'd been playing. Wookie saw you'd been playing Jungle Vayne. How confident did you feel going into that second game? You're like, all right, we don't have to win this, but we're gonna 2-0, pick the Vayne. What was the communication like going into that?
Yeah, I actually I didn't even ask my team. I just insta-locked it. Vayne is just a champion that I really like the champion, and I think that I feel like a lot of players make the mistake that they just play champions that they think are OP, and they think that because those champions are OP, they're going to play very well on those champions. But my kind of theory behind it is if you play a champion, even though you think about Vayne jungle, it doesn't sound like it fits. It doesn't sound like it's going to do well. But you can play basically any champion into any role with any build. But if you actually enjoy the game and you like it, you're going to find a way to improve and to play it well. And yeah, of course, I played Vayne jungle a lot of times, and for the first maybe even 50 games, I was 0-10 on it every single game. But I was persistent. I kept playing it. I believed in the pick. I believed that there was potential with it, and I found a way to make it work. Yeah, so I really enjoy the pick, and I don't know what your ranks are as casters, but maybe we can use this opportunity to if you could just like give me a tip on how I can improve, I would really appreciate that. And I know that this is not what this is for, but I have no clue what to run for runes. So if you could help me that and also chat, I'd really appreciate that, because I don't know if Fleet Footwork is the right choice. And yeah.
I mean, I'm Hardstuck Silver. I mean, obviously it worked out for you that game. 7-0 by like 10 minutes. So it obviously worked out for you. I mean, the only other runes I would say would be PTA. On Vayne, with just getting, from the Kraken Slayer and your Silver Bolts. That would
I feel like
maybe the only other thing.
I mean, I like the Fleet Footwork personally. I mean, it's not bad because you get the sustain. I mean, Vayne just sucks at sustain, right, early on. So, I mean, I like that. I think we were talking during the cast. I think we were talking about the cleanse, actually.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I appreciate you asking me questions, but I think I want to actually use this opportunity to interview you guys. If that's okay.
Oh.
Yeah, let's do the switcheroo. What do you think about that? Can we do that?
Okay, sure.
Yeah, I actually heard you guys casting before, and I really enjoyed your casting style, and I was just wondering how long you do it for, and yeah, I'd just love to hear what your experience is like. And I really admire casters. I was playing in a tournament before. I don't want to make this about myself here. I'm interviewing you, but I was playing in a tournament like 4 years ago called Compete League. It was a very big tournament similar to this, and yeah, the casters are actually what I felt like made the tournament very enjoyable, and what everyone were looking forward to. And we might not have a lot of viewers right here right now, but I feel like that the potential is very it's there, and we can get more viewers in the future. And I believe that you're making it very enjoyable. So I thank you for basically for casting and for making the games enjoyable and fun to watch and to play.
Yeah, Wookie, lots of love coming to the casters today.
Yeah.
I personally started casting in July, like halfway through the last Team Gap Gold split, so really only a few months. I mean, I kind of picked it up pretty quickly, I like to think. I mean, I've been watching LCS since 2013, so I mean, I've been watching the casters, but like, I'm also an idiot when it comes to League, so sometimes make some predictions that aren't there, but I think so far I'm getting a hang of it. You're
doing a good job. Great job.
Yeah. And then Wookie, I think, has probably been a lot more, but
I started casting in November, like officially, last November, and but I have casted for other events. I've done some Overwatch events down at my college back in 2017, I think. So I did some Overwatch tournaments because I was part of the gaming club for the school, and so I was the tournament organizer. So I actually have a lot of background in doing League tournaments and Overwatch tournaments for them. So, but I officially started doing like casting for this org in November, and so that was my start. Yeah,
that's really cool. Sorry for cutting you off. I just wanted to say that I don't know what your goals are with casting, but just maybe you can find some passion in this, that to know just to know that the organization that I played in before, Compete League, that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. Captain Flowers, and there was like another caster called he's called Endeavor, something like that. They're currently big casters in LCS right now, and they basically started from that small tournament just like this. So So good luck to you guys, and if you guys make it to the LCS, casting those games, I hope you guys
I work
win.
9 to 5, so probably not. But I
You
work
mean
in
you wouldn't
property
give that
tax,
up for LCS?
I mean,
job.
if Riot Games sends me an offer, I'm not gonna say no. But
Exactly. I wouldn't
at-
either.
All right, awesome. All right, that's all the
thank you,
questions I have
Dean.
for you, I think.
All right, cool. But yeah, good job tonight on your dominating performance, Dean. We appreciate all the shout outs you gave us. And yeah, that's gonna be it for tonight. We do have a game tomorrow at the same time, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's gonna be our first game showing of Red, which is X Rising Esports, versus Black, which is Queen's Gambit. That is a Silver League game, best of 3, tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss it. And from myself, my good caster Primus, and our MVP for the night, Dean, it is good night and good luck.
Good night, guys. Thank you for the stream. Bye.
Yeah, 19.